respected Shri Ramphal Ibn Saab. He is senior most among us today. Professor Ramesh Chandra, former VC, Professor Anjuvali Tiku, Dr. T.R. Khem, Professor Gunjan Gupta, sitting judges present here, former judges, advocates, professors, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here to pay tribute to Professor Dr. Muhammadin Madhulia ji, a scholar, teacher, and institution builder of the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi. The history of legal protection of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in India did not begin with the Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989. The constitutional foundations were laid down much earlier through Article 14, 15, 16, 17, 46, 330, 332 and related provisions of the Indian Constitution. These provisions were progressively interpreted by the Supreme Court and examined by scholars concerned with equality, affirmative action, untouchability and social justice. Within this developing field of constitutional scholarship, Professor Dr. Muhammadin Madhulia of the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi occupies an interesting and recognized position. His article, Constitutional Safeguard for SC and ST, appeared in the Delhi Law Review 1974. 14 years later, in 1988, he published Supreme Court on Reservation. Both works are still identified in the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, teaching materials on law and society. Thus, Professor Muhammadin scholarship falls directly within the period during which Indian constitutional law was moving from formal constitutional guarantees towards a more substantive concern with the social condition of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. In 1974, the Constitution had been in operation for nearly 25 years, yet the constitutional promise of equality had not eliminated caste-based exclusion, untouchability, or social discrimination. Professor Muhammadin chose to examine the constitutional safeguards specifically applicable to the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This placed his work within the constitutional framework in which two ideas had to be reconciled. Number one, equality before law, and number two, a special constitutional protection for communities historically subjected to discrimination. That distinction remains fundamental of understanding reservation jurisprudence. The Faculty of Law present curriculum continues to identify his 1974 article as prescribed reading material with question concerning reservation, untouchability and atrocities against weaker sections. This is important evidence of continuing academic relevance attributed to his work. Professor Muhammadin next major work, Supreme Court on Reservation, appeared in 1988. The book was published in Delhi by Kamlesh Publication and is catalogued by New York Public Library. The significance of this book lies in timings. By 1988, reservation had become one of the most important constitutional controversies in India. The Supreme Court had developed substantial jurisprudence concerning equality under Article 14, equality of opportunity under Article 16, reservation under Article 16(4), classification, backward classes, scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, promotion and representation, the relationship between formal equality and substantive equality. Professor Muhammadin undertook to organize and explain the Supreme Court jurisprudence. that makes his work particularly relevant to the intellectual history of the affirmative action in India. Ambedkar's central insight was that merely declaring equality would not eliminate a social structure based upon graded inequality. The Constitution, therefore, did not simply prohibit discrimination, it also created mechanism for the advancement and representation of historically disadvantaged communities. Professor Matadin's decision to study constitutional safeguards and subsequently Supreme Court reservation jurisprudence may be understood as an examination of how that constitutional promise was being translated into enforceable legal principle. There is, however, an important distinction. Ambedkar was primarily a constitutional architect and social philosopher. Professor Matadin was a legal academic examining the operation of constitutional principle through law and judicial decisions. Thus, Ambedkar supplied much of normative constitutional vision. Professor Matadin examined the legal mechanism through which that vision was being interpreted and applied. One of the most important constitutional provisions concerning scheduled caste is Article 17. Article 17 does not merely declare an abstract principle of equality, it abolishes untouchability and makes it enforceable in any form as an offence. Professor Matadin's scholarship appeared to have understood the constitutional significance of this provision in the wider context of social exclusion. This becomes particularly clear from later Andhra Pradesh High Court judgment, which quoted from his Supreme Court observation while discussing the historical operation of scheduled caste and the constitutional abolition of untouchability. The jurisprudence, the judgment produced Professor Matadin's discussion of scheduled caste as community is subjected historically to social and economic segregation and referred to the constitutional significance of Article 17. This is an important piece of evidence because it demonstrates that his book was not confined to a technical discussion of quotas. It connected reservation with the larger constitutional problem of caste-based expulsion. The history of legal education in India cannot be written merely through the names of judges who adorned the constitutional courts or lawyers who achieved distinction at bar. Equally important are those teachers who, from the classroom and library, shaped generations of lawyers, judges, administrators, and academics. Professor Matadin Madholia was one of such teachers. Associated with the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi, he rose to a senior academic and administrative responsibilities and became a former professor in charge of Campus Law Center and subsequently Dean of the Faculty of Law. One of the notable features of Professor Matadin's academic contribution was its breadth. His published work included Law of Passing Off and Infringement Action of Trademark 1986, a specialized book dealing with an important branch of intellectual property law. The continuing presence of this book in university law syllabi is particularly significant. It has remained part of recommended readings in intellectual property courses at universities long after its publication. It demonstrates that Professor Matadin had intellectual interest extended from commercial and intellectual property law to constitutional equality, affirmative actions, reservations, and the legal protection of historically disadvantaged communities. Professor Matadin approached law as both as intellectual discipline and as an instrument of social organization. His writings on trademark demonstrate attention to technical legal doctrine. His writings on reservation and constitutional safeguards demonstrate an interest in the relationship between law and social justice. This combination is important. A teacher who writes on passing off and trademark infringement must be capable to close doctrinal analysis, statutory interpretation, and appreciation of judicial precedent. A teacher who writes on reservation and constitutional safeguard must simultaneously engage with constitutional philosophy, equality, discrimination, representation, the historical circumstances of disadvantaged communities. Professor Matadin's published work therefore reflects a multi-dimensional legal mind. Professor Matadin, a teacher influence is often difficult to capture in official records. A judgment can record his designation, a university document can record his appointment, a catalog can record his book, but none of these can fully record the effect of a teacher had upon the minds of his students. For Professor Matadin, the surviving evidence nevertheless permits an important conclusion. He belonged to a generation of Indian law teachers who regarded legal education as a serious profession. Their conception of law teacher was not limited to delivering lectures. Scholarship, administration, research, legal writing, and participation in a intellectual life of the faculty were all part of vocations. Professor Matadin's career reflects that traditions. In conclusion, we can say that Professor Matadin Madhulia should be remembered as a scholar, as a teacher, and academic administrator who made contributions across more than one field of law. His services as professor in charge of the Campus Law Center and later as dean demonstrated institutional leadership. His selection to head an inquiry committee after retirement reflected the continuing value placed upon his experience and judgment. Perhaps his most endeavoring achievement is that his academic writings continued to find a place in legal education long after he had left active academic interest. For these reasons, Professor Matadin Madhulia may appropriately be remembered as a scholar of law, a teacher of generation, an administrator of distinction, and an academic who recognized that true value of law lies not merely in technical rules but also in the capacity to secure justice and social equality. This was all what I summarized about Professor Matadin, but I want to share my personal interactions with him. In the year 1980, I joined Faculty of Law as a student in LLM. So there was a subject, Law and Society. He taught me that subject. So I knew Professor Matadin since the year 1981. And I had been in continuous contact till he was alive. I saw him when he was constructing the hall and standing in the June supervising the work. So he was a great personality. We remember him, we miss him. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब, थैंक यू वेरी मच। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे बीच में मिस्टर के.पी. सिंह, इंजीनियरिंग चीफ एमसीडी के आए, हम उनका भी स्वागत करते हैं। के.पी. सिंह, इंजीनियरिंग चीफ एमसीडी। नाउ आई इनवाइट डॉक्टर टी.आर. केम साहब।